Have you ever felt completely stuck, financially anxious, or constantly stressed about money? I know exactly how that feels because I've been there. But what if I told you the path to financial freedom isn't hidden in some trendy investment strategy or complicated budgeting plan? Instead, it's rooted in an ancient philosophy called Stoicism. And today, I'm sharing exactly how this ancient wisdom transformed my own financial journey, step by step. Here's something most financial gurus won't tell you. True financial freedom isn't about hitting a magic number in your bank account. It's about having complete control over your emotional relationship with money. But how exactly do you master your emotions when it comes to finances? Well, for me, it began when I stumbled upon the Stoic teachings of Epictetus. He famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Now, don't misunderstand this. Epictetus wasn't saying money doesn't matter. He meant that when you master your desires, you unlock a powerful new level of financial clarity. And I get it. This sounds almost too simple, right? But stick around, because once I fully grasped this concept, it sparked a series of actions that took me from stressed and financially stuck to confidently managing my wealth completely anxiety-free. So what does mastering your desires actually look like in real life? Let me paint a picture for you. A few years ago, I was the kind of person who believed earning more money would instantly solve my stress. But here's the shocking twist. It actually made me even more anxious. I quickly realized that as my income increased, so did my expectations. I found myself in a constant cycle of needing more to feel satisfied. Can you relate? Then, one evening, after another stressful day, I stumbled across a Stoic exercise called Voluntary Simplicity. It seemed strange at first. Why would intentionally simplifying your life lead to more wealth and freedom? But I was desperate, so I gave it a shot. I decided to drastically reduce unnecessary spending for just 1 month. No expensive dinners, no impulsive shopping, no costly subscriptions. But here's what really surprised me. Not only did my bank balance immediately start to improve, but something far more powerful happened. I began to realize just how little I needed to genuinely feel happy and secure. But can embracing simplicity truly lead to long-term financial success? Absolutely. And here's exactly why. By consciously reducing unnecessary spending, I suddenly had a clearer vision of what actually mattered to me financially. It wasn't about accumulating flashy things to impress others. It was about building genuine freedom. Freedom from financial worry, freedom from debt, and freedom to choose how I spent my time. But here's a critical question I wrestled with next. How could I ensure this newfound simplicity actually led to sustainable wealth? Thankfully, Stoicism provided the answer in the form of a technique called negative visualization. At first glance, this technique might seem counterintuitive or even depressing. But let me explain. It's actually incredibly empowering. Negative visualization means deliberately imagining losing the comforts and security you currently enjoy. Why would anyone do that? Well, imagine briefly losing your current job or main income source. It's uncomfortable, right? But here's the magic. When you mentally rehearse these challenging scenarios, you become significantly better at managing your emotions during real-life setbacks. Instead of panicking during financial downturns, you're prepared. You calmly make wise decisions rather than emotional, costly mistakes. In my own experience, practicing negative visualization regularly made me virtually immune to market panic or financial anxiety. I suddenly found myself responding strategically and calmly during tough financial moments, and it transformed my wealth-building strategy completely. But if Stoicism is really this powerful, why isn't everyone using it to build wealth? Great question, and I'll reveal the surprising answer in just a moment. But first, let's tackle another life-changing Stoic insight that became a cornerstone in my journey to financial freedom: the dichotomy of control. This simple principle completely changed how I approached financial decision-making. And honestly, it might be the most powerful concept you'll ever hear about money. Here's how it works. Stoics teach us to clearly distinguish between things within our control and things beyond our control. Think about it. How often do you stress about economic downturns, market fluctuations, or job security? Now imagine shifting all that mental energy purely toward actions you can actually influence: your spending, your saving, your skills, and your disciplined investments. Personally, when I started applying this Stoic wisdom consistently, my financial anxiety disappeared almost overnight. I began investing only in areas I deeply understood, stopped worrying about things beyond my influence, and focused all my efforts on taking clear, disciplined action each day. But I know exactly what you're wondering now. If Stoicism is this powerful, why hasn't everyone discovered it? Well, here's the surprising truth. The main reason most people don't use Stoicism is because it requires brutal honesty and consistent discipline. Two things most financial advice completely ignores. Think about all the trendy money-making strategies and financial advice you've seen lately. How many encourage deep self-reflection, emotional mastery, or disciplined simplicity? Exactly, almost none. Yet these Stoic principles form the true backbone of lasting financial success. And trust me, I know firsthand how powerful these strategies are because they've completely transformed my own financial journey, from anxious uncertainty to total clarity and genuine freedom. But here's the thing. Understanding these Stoic principles is just the start. To truly experience their incredible benefits, you need a clear, actionable plan to integrate them into your daily life. So, what specific steps can you start taking right now to leverage Stoicism practically, eliminating financial anxiety forever and rapidly moving toward genuine financial freedom? I'll share exactly how I applied these Stoic habits, step by step, to completely transform my financial life. But first, let me ask you this. How different would your life feel if you never worried about money again? Keep that image firmly in mind, because the next part will give you the precise tools to make it a reality faster than you ever thought possible. I'll never forget the exact day I fully committed to applying Stoicism to my finances. I'd reached a tipping point. I was exhausted from years of anxiety, chasing financial goals without ever truly feeling secure. I realized something had to change, so I began integrating a simple but powerful Stoic practice into my daily routine: journaling. Now I know what you're thinking. How can writing in a journal every day seriously transform my finances? Trust me, I was skeptical too. But here's exactly what I discovered. Journaling wasn't just writing down random thoughts. It became my secret weapon for building self-awareness, emotional control, and absolute clarity around my financial goals. Every night, I'd take just 5 minutes to reflect on 3 critical questions. First, did my spending today align with my deepest values? Second, what financial decisions did I make emotionally rather than logically? And finally, what small, specific action would I take tomorrow to improve my financial future? Within just a few weeks, this nightly reflection completely transformed my financial mindset. I quickly noticed patterns: unnecessary spending triggered by stress, investments based on fear of missing out, and impulsive purchases driven purely by temporary emotions. By spotting these patterns early, I was able to proactively eliminate emotional spending and redirect that money toward disciplined saving and investing. My finances stabilized rapidly, but even more importantly, my emotional relationship with money dramatically improved. But here's the unexpected bonus. Once you master your emotions around money, wealth building becomes infinitely easier. Why? Because you're no longer fighting against your impulses and anxieties every single day. Instead, you're calmly making decisions aligned directly with your long-term vision. Now you might wonder, can journaling alone really deliver complete financial freedom? Of course not, but combined with two other key Stoic habits, deliberate gratitude and intentional discomfort, it becomes incredibly powerful. Let's quickly talk about deliberate gratitude. Every evening after journaling, I spent just 2 minutes reflecting deeply on 3 financial things I genuinely appreciated. Maybe the stability of my income, the small savings I'd built up, or even just having enough to comfortably cover expenses. Here's the surprising result. Practicing deliberate gratitude didn't just make me feel happier, it actively improved my financial discipline. By regularly reminding myself of what I already had, I naturally stopped chasing unnecessary spending or feeling pressured to impress others financially. Gratitude transformed my mindset from scarcity to abundance, and suddenly every financial decision became clearer and calmer. But what about intentional discomfort? What role did that play in my financial freedom journey? Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca frequently practiced brief moments of intentional simplicity or mild discomfort. I began applying this same idea by occasionally spending weekends living on a tight budget, eating simple meals, avoiding entertainment expenses, and skipping any luxuries. Sounds strange, right? But here's the incredible payoff. This brief intentional discomfort quickly boosted my financial resilience and dramatically increased my appreciation for everyday comforts. When you briefly experience simplicity, you instantly realize just how little you actually need to feel genuinely happy and satisfied. Over time, this practice significantly enhanced my financial discipline, empowering me to effortlessly resist impulsive purchases or unnecessary lifestyle inflation. And remember, every penny you save through disciplined simplicity directly fuels your investment and wealth-building journey. But here's something important. Stoicism isn't about living miserably or constantly depriving yourself. It's about strategically choosing when and how to simplify your life to achieve clarity, control, and true financial freedom. So, let's quickly recap the exact Stoic practices that transform my finances completely. Daily journaling for clarity and emotional control, deliberate gratitude for financial abundance, and intentional simplicity for resilience and discipline. But now, you're probably asking, Saul, what's the end result of consistently applying these practices? For me, the answer was genuine financial freedom. Not just in numbers, but in the complete absence of anxiety about money. Today, I wake up each morning confident and calm, knowing my finances are secure, my decisions are clear, and my emotional relationship with money is healthier than ever before. I'm no longer driven by stress or fear, but by purpose, clarity, and long-term vision. But now, the question shifts back to you. Can you imagine yourself experiencing the same level of freedom and emotional mastery? How different would your life look if financial anxiety was replaced by calm confidence? Here's my challenge to you. Pick just one Stoic habit I've described and commit to practicing it consistently for the next 30 days. Whether it's journaling, gratitude, or intentional simplicity, start small, stay consistent, and watch your entire financial mindset transform faster than you ever imagined. Because ultimately, financial freedom isn't about chasing endless numbers. It's about building an unshakable internal foundation first. Once you do, lasting wealth becomes not only achievable, but inevitable. And here's the final truth. True financial freedom isn't something you wait for. It's something you create, deliberately and consistently, every single day. So, take the first step right now, and see for yourself just how powerful Stoicism can be in transforming your finances forever.